Hello everybody and welcome to Dana's Color Obsession. This is part 4 of our little, well, turned into big, I guess, color along in the Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Cattenbang. I last night finished off the vines, deepened up the branch a little bit, and I actually went over some of the Neocolor 2's background again and tried to deepen up areas and tried to get it to, anyway, it looks a lot better than it did to me, and I am going to leave it the way it is and call it good. Today we're going to be finishing up the page. Yay! So yeah, so let's start by doing the funnest part, at least the funnest part I think it's going to be today, is the smoke on the pumpkins, and I will zoom you in when we're ready. But today we're going to be using Paul Rubens metallic and iridescent watercolors, and I'm excited. It looks like this, for those of you who are wondering, and I did get it off of Amazon, so you can do that. But I will show you the palette. Oh, you can see some of it. But they're gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. And we're going to be using this color for the smoke coming out of the pumpkins. So that should be fun. I'm letting the water do its thing on the color right now. Actually, while we do that, let's grab our oranges that we used the pumpkin colors, and I think I'm going to use the lightest orange that we used, which is the cadmium orange 111, and I am just gonna no need to zoom you in right now. I'm gonna lightly go over the slime that's coming out of the pumpkin. Now that's kind of plain Jane, I guess, with using one color. I kind of like that. I want it to differentiate enough but still be orange, so I just kind of want it to be that lightest color. And it's just coming out, yes, it's just coming out of this pumpkin and this one. And it's just like the pumpkin guts are oozing out. And I just noticed this morning before I started filming, and I will point this out to you guys in a second, that in her grimoire, her witch book, her spell book, there is a pumpkin on the page that she's got it open to. So she is doing this. She is creating this pumpkin flying vine thing going on. And I will bring you up so you can see this. Let me move some stuff here so that I can show you. See, in the book there's a pumpkin and I colored it orange. And we have to color the book still, obviously. I did use the grays that we used on the lantern on these little metal corners. But I have some other colors for the book. Anyways, so that's that. Let's put the watercolors back where they were and get started with that. I'll zoom you in and we'll get going. Okay, so I bought these from Amazon. They are just, I mean, they were pretty cheap. This is a 3. Golden maple is what it says on the brush handle. And they're just, I guess they're watercolor brushes. And I just have a little bucket of water here. I'm gonna wet the brush and spin around in the color over here. You guys can't see that because of this big white piece of the palette lid. And I am just gonna paint the smoke, basically. I'm going to make sure this is nice and stirred. Nice and pigmented. I'm worried I have too much. We'll see how this goes. Alright. Oh my. I am not versed in watercolor either, y'all. So, oh dear, I thought this was translucent, but it's not really. Well, it's just going to be a big ball of purple now. When I tested this on a different book, it was see-through. But now, when I'm painting this, you're not going to be able to see the lines. Maybe if I just up here. Let me get a little more water on my brush and see if I can move it around a bit. Oh, this might be trouble. Oh gosh. No. There we go. I just need a little more water. Not too much because I don't want it to ruin the paper. And spread the love around. Okay, you can see now. Oh, good. So I just have too much pigment in my little holder thing right now and not enough water, which is fine. I love that you can just move watercolor around. I saved it, y'all. I'm so excited. All right. Bring it down, push it around. Oh, how's that look? Oh, the iridescence makes it so you guys can't really see. Okay. Well, let me show you before I keep going. I don't know if you can see this. It's purple iridescent. Can you see? The wrong way. There you go. That's the actual true color of it, but it's shimmery, really shimmery. So in reality, in real life, it looks really cool, but you guys can't really see that on camera, and that sucks. But it's purple. But I'm excited that I can still see the lines now of the smoke so that it's not just a big purple blob on the page, which is what I thought it might happen. So with watercolor, you obviously, there's, you know, a fine line. You got to figure out how much water and paint you need, you know. And we'll keep going here. Yeah, see. So much pigment. These are really good paints, you guys. They're beautiful. I've used them a few different times in some of my pages, and you can see that on Instagram if you follow me on Instagram. One of my witch pages, actually, from the Hannah Carlson book. And they're fantastic. They really are. And pretty easy to manipulate, actually. Especially for me, who has no experience at all with painting and, you know, art in general. Okay. The littlest of pigment on the brush. And I went with a really small one. I think I told you this already, so that I don't get it everywhere. Because, you know, we don't want that to happen. Okay, spread this out a little bit. I wish the actual true color of the paint came through for you guys. I know I sort of showed you, but I really wish you could see how neat it is with the iridescent glow. It really makes it pop, but still isn't too much, you know? Some of the colors in this palette, you guys, are fantastic. Like, they're just like in your face, bright as bright can be. It's amazing. I need to be careful. Get too much water on my Neocolor background, it's gonna like freak out and go into the smoke because it's watercolor as well. Okay. All right, so that first cloud of smoke from this pumpkin is done. Let me show you like that. So I don't know if you can see the iridescence, but it's pretty dang cool. So I'm going to do that on each of the pumpkins, smoky areas, and I shall be right back. I am gonna, well, for starters, let me zoom you out. Or actually, no, I'm not gonna zoom you out. We're gonna do her skin. I just did the smoke in all the pumpkins, so there's that for you. Okay, so I'm going to start out with basing her skin with the lightest color. And this is going to be Beige Red 132. And I have Cinnamon 189. And we have Coral 131. And actually, I lied. I am going to start with the cinnamon and just kind of go along the edges of her skin. Are we close enough? Oh, let me zoom in just a little more for you guys. It's a bummer that just looks silver for you guys. Because it's really pretty in person. It's purple and shimmery. Okay, so I have my cinnamon 189. Again, these are polychromos. We're sticking with polys. Actually, we did polys the last color along too. Huh, I'm gonna have to change it up, aren't I? All right, so I'm just gonna go along her jawline very, very lightly with the cinnamon. Very lightly, and kind of on the back of her neck here. And down the front a little bit where there would be shadow. You guys might not even be able to really see it for how light I'm going. And I'm just going in around her hair and around the edges of her forehead. With this darker skin tone color. And I'm going to go down her nose a little bit with shadow, creating shadow here. Just a little, and a little under her lips, like that. And then I'm actually going to grab my eraser because I have a little bit of brown on her fingers there. And I'm going to just outline her palm. I say outline, like don't push hard, just basically creating a shadow, I guess. Just where you think there would be one, you know? Okay, and then I'm going to do her other hand and her legs. Oh, I ended up just using the darkest red in her outfit, which was the Matter 142 for her flip-flops. I just colored those in. Sorry, I forgot I had done that. Okay, let me... Now, I'm going to take the beige red 132, which is basically a peach color, and I'm going to fill in kind of a little bit of everywhere, staying away from the middle of her forehead and the lightest places. Actually, I might fill it in because her features are so small. It's not like we have a portrait, you know. So I think I am going to fill it in. We're still going to give her some blush though. Yeah. We'll just fill it in. We can't do too much detail or shading, you know what I mean? There's only so much you can do with a tiny, tiny face like that. So I am the lightest touch, I'm telling you guys, the lightest touch to fill this in. Okay, let me see. First, let's take our blush, which is our Coral 131. And I'm just gonna kind of bring in some pink to her little cheeks here. So she has some color, you know? Just a little. Not too much. Okay. And then I'm going to take our lightest color again and kind of go around the edges of that blush to soften it again so that there's not a real harsh line there. And maybe even through it to maybe blend us a little more. And actually, I might, just with her face, go in with our darkest color, which is the Cinnamon 189, and just kind of outline a little more. Okay. And her legs look real pasty, so I'm gonna kind of give her a little bit of a tan. Not really, but you know what I mean. Just a little bit so it doesn't look like it's just the white of the paper. Let me see if I can show it to you. God, it just doesn't even show up. I can't even describe to you how much that does not show what I really did. Well, you know what I did, I guess. I don't know. Stupid camera. Let's see. Okay, so next we will go ahead and do her hair. And then I'm going to do her bracelets, and then she's going to be done. All right, so for her hair, there's not a lot of it showing there because she's got her hood on, but I don't even know if I need this many. I don't know if I need this many colors, but I have them just in case. Let me flip these around here. All right, so I have brown ochre, 182. Yeah, 182. Burnt ochre, 187. Light yellow ochre, 183. And dark Naples ochre, 184. And I'm going to start with our lightest color and go ever so lightly over the entire hair. Very lightly. Just so we have a small coating. base, if you will. Okay. And then I'm going to take the brown ochre and go from the base of these little tendrils, and I'm just going to flick up. Flick up. Like so. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to use 4 colors, I don't think. I don't think that's going to do much. And then from down here, I'm going to use this and flick in the direction of each lock. See, the locks are lined, and I'm just going to stay inside the lines and flick up from the bottom. And over here. It's not normally how I would do hair, but there's not much here. So I'm just going to try to make it as realistic as I can. Okay. And then I'm going to take the burnt ochre and do the same, except for a little higher. Okay, and then I'm going to take the light yellow ochre and do it as well. Kind of just fill in where I think the pigment would look best. There's not a lot I can do here, guys. And I think that's good, honestly. She's got some dimension in there. God, you just can't see it. I hope you can. I hope it renders better than what it shows on my OBS screen, which is the computer software that I use to film with. And I have a webcam that I use. So I hope that it's showing up okay. Anyways, now let's do her bracelet really quickly. I'm just going to use probably some Jelly Roll glaze. Her cloak is a pinkish red anyway. And that looks pink. Oh well. I don't care. It'll shimmer because it's glaze. Alright, so there's the beads. I have a mountain of free pencils, or you should see my desk right now, you guys. It's, oops, sorry. It's ridiculously messy. And just gonna line the bracelet. There we go. Okay, she's done, dude. She is done. And I have glitter all over me. I have shimmer, iridescence. Okay, so now all we have left to do is the book, the satchel, the flowers, and the kitty. So let's do the book and satchel. We are zoomed into the book kind of already. So let me start there. We are going to use Burnt Umber 280, Burnt Sienna 283, and Burnt Ochre 187. I'm going to use my darkest tone first, my darkest color, and I'm going to line shadows. Now this is going to be, I've chosen some reddish browns, except for this one. The dark color is kind of just a dark brown. But the sienna is going to give it, hopefully, that more of a, I wanted mahogany, but Polychromos doesn't really have a mahogany color like the Black Widows or Prismas would have. They have some reddish browns, just not the deeper reddish brown, which is what I was kind of looking for, but that's fine. This will look just fine. Okay, so I'm going in now with the burnt sienna. And aren't you guys proud of me? I actually sharpened all my pencils before we started filming today. I was so proud of me. Go me. Oh, Lord. I'm going to color a little more. Fill it a little more up because that lighter color, I'm worried that's going to make the book look kind of orangey. And I want the deep wood color to stay. So I'm going to kind of do that. And then we're going to add in the lightest color, which is the Burnt Ochre 187. Perfect. Just kind of blending and pushing some of that lighter color into those spots where I had no pigment. This kind of looks like our tree, even though I used different colors. Except for this one. I guess this was on the tree as well. Let me push more of the burnt sienna in there. There we go. That looks different. I think I'm just going to kind of color over everything. I wanted it to look kind of weathered and old because, you know, it's been through a lot with her. There's backstory there. All right. I think that is going to do it for the book. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and see if that helps the frame, the picture. Yeah, see that reddish brown is just not cutting it quite how I was hoping, but it's fine. Okay, I'm going to take the Ivory 103 and just kind of fill in the pages. Actually, let's put a little bit of the burnt ochre in the binding and down the sides and a little bit on the edges of the pages. Just a little bit. And then fill it in with the ivory. Okay. Oh, I need those. On the satchel, taking our darkest color, same three colors, burnt umber, 280, Burnt sienna 283, and then the burnt ochre 187. And I'm pushing a little harder on this one. This one I want to darken up quite a bit. And I just, all the crisscrosses on the straps here, I just used the darkest color because so that it differentiates from the tree, since it's one of the same colors. Right, so burnt sienna. Okay. Well, the satchel is done, so now let's do the flowers. Now there's only two. I will do the biggest one with you, and then I'll go off camera and do that, the last one. Okay. All right, so I Googled what the flowers are, what color the flowers are on pumpkin vines, and I think I've told you this at the beginning of our color along, but they're yellow. So I have with us today, we have dark cadmium yellow 108, cadmium yellow 107, cream 102, and ivory 103. And first and foremost, that button in the center is the darkest yellow for me. That's just what's gonna happen. And then I am gonna go in a curved angle on these petals and just bring out those shadows and lines like so. And I'm going to do that on each petal. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of go down the body of the petal, the flower, and just kind of go over some of these lines like that. Okay, then I'm going to take the next color, the cadmium yellow, and we're gonna just go in the center here and kind of in circular motions go over it all, coming straight up the petal or down or whatever, like so. And then I'm going to grab the cream and keep going with our lightest color. You can barely see that. Oh, that blue is kind of showing through. That sucks. And then I might not need the ivory. I'm going to use the darkest color, the dark cadmium yellow, on the flipped up part of the petals. Like that. So the top of the flower is done. I'm going to take the cadmium yellow, which is not our darkest, but the next down, and just put in some of that in here. And then I'm going to grab the cream and do the same. Like that. And there is our flower, ladies and gentlemen. So there's some white space here. I'm going to do that exact same thing over here on this one, this tiny one over here. And all right, the last bit is our precious little kitty cat. And I have with me, he's small, so I really don't need all of these, I don't think. So let me, I think I'll be okay with that one. Okay, so I have black, $1.99. I have cool gray, 5, $2.34. I have cool gray 3, $2.32. And I have cool gray 1, $2.30. Okay, and I'm going to start out actually with my lightest gray, cool gray 1. And I'm going to go around his elbows like that, and his tummy, a little bit by his tail here, anywhere where he has potential to lose his features with the darker colors. I don't want his arm to get erased by the dark, like a black cat. Like if I were to just use black, the cat would be a black cat, obviously, but you wouldn't see his arm. You like everything, the details get lost, you know. So on the edges here, I'm using my lightest gray, and hopefully that will help us maintain his features, is my hope. And again, I've never done a black cat, so we're learning. I don't think I've done a black cat. I have done a black cat, but it was an animated cat. Like it's from that spooky book. And what I did was just did a white outline on things. So I might use this for other things as well. Like his little face might kind of be more gray than anything. I'll put some darker features on him, but we won't be able to see his little face if we do that, you know? Okay, I'm bunking the fur. I don't like it. We're still gonna have a lot of gray features, but we're gonna do some layering for the black. Okay, you guys, he's done. I just filled him in. I am going to take a Uniball Signo white gel pen and make sure it's flowing good on a little piece of scratch paper and fill in the highlighted bubble spots on the glass here. I know I didn't do a light source. I'll try it next time, I think. that's what they gave me for light marks. And I think that's probably going to do it. I'll end up not liking what I'm doing here if I do too much more as I keep going. Okay. All right, you guys. I might black this out or put a piece of washi tape around it because there's some smudges and stuff on the edges. But that is it. Thank you so much for following along. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Wherever you are in this world, I hope you are safe and happy and well. And I will see you in the next one.